Welcome to the Unit 6 Day 9 notes. This is the last day of notes for this unit, for this semester. I hope everybody has had a good semester so far, at least as good as we could have had. We're going to do a couple of example problems with these dilations before we just have extra time to work on some homework. So for this first one, I'm just going to go through. I'm not going to make you pause the video. If you want to pause the video to challenge yourself, absolutely go for it. But we are tasked with finding all of the missing side lengths. So to start off with, before anything else, I'm going to label everything that I know. So C to R prime is 51. T to U is 24. R to V is 30. It says find the missing values. Well, we don't know. I'm going to highlight the things we don't know. We don't know T prime, U prime. We don't know U prime, V prime. We don't know R prime, V prime. We don't know TS, and we don't know SR. Otherwise, we know everything else. We have to find our scale factor. Okay, that's our image over our pre-image. So I need to find something that I know in both the image and the pre-image. Well, in the actual shape itself, the parts that I highlighted, well, that makes up everything. Like these three sides, I know those in the small one, but not the big one. I know these two sides in the big one, but not the small one. So that means I'm stuck with this piece over here. The distance from C to R prime is my image. The distance from C to R is my pre-image. So that means I have 51 over 17, which if I divide that, is 3 over 1. Remember, our scale factor always has to be a fraction, so you don't write 3. I know I wrote 3 in a couple things. It's bad notation on my part. It should always be a fraction, so keep it 3 over 1. All right, so to find out the rest of these, I'm literally going to take my pre-image times 3 to give me my image. My pre-image is the smaller piece. All right, so R prime, V prime, I'm going to do that in green. R prime, V prime is equal to 3 times RV. Well, RV was 30, so that is 90. All right, so that's one answer. If I want to figure out U prime, V prime, that's 3 times U times UV. So U prime, that's a terrible U. U prime, V prime is equal to 3 times 12, which is 36. And T prime, U prime is equal to 3 times TU. Three times 24 is going to be 72. Those are the easy ones. The ones that are a little bit more challenging are going to be the RS and TS. Well, I know that R prime S prime is equal to 3 times RS. I can still set it up the same way. R prime S prime is 48. So I would divide both sides by 3 to get 16 is equal to the length of RS. Okay, same idea. S prime T prime is equal to 3 times ST. So 54 is equal to 3 times ST. Divide both sides by 3 to get that ST is going to equal 18. That's finding all the missing side lengths. I went very quick. Once you find your pre-image and image, you get your scale factor. The rest is just a multiplication or division problem. It's simple Algebra 1 type steps, but getting to there with the pre-image, the image, the scale factor, that's the more challenging piece. All right, so for this next one, we want to solve for R prime, S prime. So I want to figure out what this guy is. That tells me I'm going to want to know what this guy is. Well, cool, they gave us values with variables. I need to find my scale factor. All right, so my image and pre-image, if I label this stuff, which I haven't done yet, C to R prime is 5 and R to R prime is 10, which means C to R is going to be 15. It's our segment addition postulate. 10 plus 5 is 15. All right, so the distance from C to my image is 5 because the prime is the image. The distance from C to my pre-image is 15, so my scale factor is 1/3. The mistake people are going to make is they're going to do 5 and 10 and get 1/2. If you're going from this point C, you have to go the entire distance to get to the pre-image, entire distance to get to the image. All right? So the distance from C to my image times my scale factor is equal to the distance from C to my image. So that, in other words, CR times K is equal to CR prime, right? I should use probably the letters we actually want. We want R prime, S prime. So RS times K is equal to R prime, S prime. What I said before is true. Okay, just not really helpful because that just gives me my scale factor. So RS is 5x minus 8 times K is equal to R prime, S prime, which is 2x minus 4. All right, well, my K value, I know, is 1/3. If you do not like fractions, even if you do, realistically, I want to get rid of this. You could distribute 1/3 in, but 5 and 8, neither of them are divisible by 3, so that would not be helpful. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3, because 3 times 1/3 is 1, so that leaves 5x minus 8 on that side. I need to remember to put this in parentheses and to distribute to get 6x minus 12. All right, now it's basic algebra from here. I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. That gives me negative 8 equals x minus 12. Then I will add 12 to both sides to get x equals 4, which is exciting. I'm not done. A lot of people do all this work, they get to here, and they're like, cool, they box their answer, and they quit. But the question said solve for R prime S prime. So R prime S prime is 2 times 4 minus 4. That's 8 minus 4, which is 4. Now we got the same number, which is awesome. That's lucky. If you put x equals 4 as your answer and you box it, you do not get the question right, even though you have 4 as your answer, because you said x equals 4, when I need to know what R prime S prime is. So make sure you're solving the correct thing. Now, to check your answer, I would also plug it in to figure out what RS is. Okay? You don't necessarily need to do this on the screen. You could just do this in your calculator, whatever. RS is 5 times 4 minus 8. It's 20 minus 8. That's 12. Well, if I do 12 times 1/3, I get 4. So that tells me I did the right thing and I got the right answer. All right. So go ahead, work on your homework. That's all we have for today. Hope everybody has a great day. And make sure you're getting ready for this test as well as the Q2 cumulative test.